Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Shini, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So today in this video, we're going to be talking about how to start a successful tree business in Nigeria. If this is something you're interested in, please hit on that subscribe button, like this video, comment and share, and also please turn on your post notification to be notified whenever I post a new video. All right, so guys, before we get right into the steps on how to start a successful thrift business in Nigeria, in case you don't know what thrift is, thrift means second-hand goods basically, and in Nigeria we call it okrika. I'm just going to leave it right on the screen, okay? We're going to be narrowing it down to thrift clothing, because the thrift is like a wide area. So you can thrift antiques, kitchen wares. There's just a lot of things you can thrift, but for the purpose of this video we're going to be narrowing it down to thrift clothing. So in case you don't know, I run an online female thrift clothing business on Instagram, Thrift with Chini. If you had watched my get to know me video, I mentioned the businesses I run, so I'm just going to leave the Instagram handle on the screen. Please do well to check my page out and patronize, okay? Thank you. So there's this misconception that only poor people shop thrift clothes. I feel like that's absolutely not true. It's totally wrong, because I know a lot of rich persons that wear thrift clothes, and thrift has gone beyond all those ideologies or whatever that thrifting is just for poor people. So we're going to be talking about the benefits of thrifting before we get right into tips on how to start a successful thrift business in Nigeria. So number one is its affordability. The thrift business is very affordable. You can get a good dress for about 3,000 or 4,000 naira, unlike when you go to a boutique. This price is like maybe from 8,000 naira, 10,000, 15,000 naira, depending on the dress or whatever it is you're buying. So the thrift clothes are very affordable. All right, so that's the number one benefit. Secondly, on the benefits of thrift clothes, where we have on my list here, you could get designer products. Most times because you know this thrift clothes comes in bill, so you could get designer products at half the price. You know, the price you could get it originally from their website, you can get all of that good stuff just from the thrift bill. You get the likes of Zara. Zara is a very well-known designer brand. You see a lot of that in thrift clothing, so that's another benefit. The third benefit of thrift clothes is its uniqueness. Thrift clothing are very unique. In a bill you barely see the same clothes, like it's just maybe one piece, and it's unlike the mass production clothes you see all around, where you go to an event, you're already seeing that you and somebody, maybe 10 other persons are already wearing the same clothes. That can be really annoying. So but with thrift clothing you don't have to experience that, because maybe you're just the only person that has that particular clothing at that time. Okay, so that's a very good benefit of thrifting. That is why I love thrift, because I like to be unique. I don't like that I go to an event or I go somewhere, I'm just walking along and I see the whole place flooded with the same clothes. I don't know, some persons don't see it as anything. It's not an issue. Another benefit is its durability. Thrift clothes are very durable, they last long. I've had some thrift clothes since 2016 that I'm still wearing till now, mostly like stay at home clothes, and these clothes are still very good. Like you just wash it and you spread it, it's still the way it is, unlike some clothes that I got from the market, not thrift clothes, new clothes, sorry. So these clothes, after a while they start loosening, like the threads become weak. Like I've experienced those kind of things, and I've just been able to conclude that thrift clothes are actually very durable, and that's because the thrift clothes we wear, they go through a much more longer process of production, unlike the mass production clothes you see around. They don't go through all of that process. All right guys, so we've talked about the benefits of thrift clothes. and there are just so many benefits, but I wouldn't want to bore us with all of that details. I will just head right into the main purpose of this video, which is how to start a successful thrift business in Nigeria. Okay guys, so the thrift clothing business rather, is one very lucrative business in Nigeria. It is something I would encourage anybody to venture into because it is very lucrative, and you don't even need a lot of capital to start it. All right, so first on my list on things you need to know before starting a successful thrift business in Nigeria is capital. I already mentioned it, capital. You do not need a lot of money to start a thrift business. With as low as 10,000 naira, you can start up a thrift business depending on what you're going for or what you intend to sell. Okay, so with as low as 10,000 naira and above, you can successfully start your thrift business. Okay, especially if you're doing it online. Next thing we're going to be talking about is location. Before you start up your thrift business, you must have settled on the location. Do you intend to, okay, it's either you want to sell online or you want to have a working store. Some persons have a working store and they also sell online. They operate both ways. Some persons sell only online and then they have a working store. For me personally, I operate online because I do not have a store. You have to decide if this what you want. Do you want to operate online or do you want to have a working store? And so if you decide on having a working store, then you have to talk about renting a store, renting a shop, the cost and all of that. So it's left for you to decide. But starting out, if you do not have enough money, I advise that you start off with online. And then the third thing you should know when starting a thrift business is interest. What do you plan to sell? Like there are so many clothings, that thrift clothing. You have some persons, you need to have a niche, right? That's the word. Do you intend to focus mainly on maybe like corporate wears? Would you want to be selling corporate wears? And maybe would you want to be selling lingeries? If you're not selling lingeries, you could want to sell only dresses. You could want to sell only bodysuits. You could want to sell just tops. You could want to sell just dresses, or you want to sell just party wears. Any of those things, you have to note your interest and not be jack of all trades, because that's the mistake I made when starting out. I just wanted to sell everything, and that should lead us right to the next point, which is also very important. Next is your contacts, your friends, your family members. I'm not talking about people that will owe you, please. Okay, so this is something that I think is very, very important before starting out a thrift business, because you need to start from your friends, people that actually know you, especially when you've chosen that you want to do this online. You need to start from people that know you, because those your friends are the people that can actually introduce you to persons that can trust you, because these days people are very careful with the way they buy things online. Nobody wants to be scammed. So your friends are like your first customers. They are the people that are going to patronize you first, and they are the ones that are going to talk to other people about you. So you need to start from your friends, and you need to know what they actually want, because there's no point talking things that people don't actually want. That's a very huge mistake I made when starting out, because in this video I'm just going to be coming out clean, telling you guys the mistakes and everything I made, which I am correcting gradually. So I wouldn't want you guys to make that mistake. Okay, so you need to know what your contact list wants. First of all, once you must have created the awareness. Oh hi, maybe you send to them on your WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever means of social media you use, whatever social media platform you use. But ask them, hi, okay, I'm starting a thrift business, what kind of things would you like? That's like the first step. If you're able to like know what they want, and then you get it for them, because maybe you have a contact list that wants dresses and you're stocking only tops, you and your top will remain there, nobody will buy it. That's just that's what I've experienced so far. I've been in the thrift business for 1 year. It's a lot, but because I was not told all these things, I had to learn it the hard way. I had to learn all of these things the hard way. So because I wouldn't want any of you to go through all of that, that's why I'm making this video, so you have a deeper understanding. So always stock what people want. There's no point stocking things that they don't want, because you would have hard time selling it. Okay, next thing is advertising. I cannot overemphasize on this point. Advertising is so very important when you start your thrift business, especially when you've decided that you want to do it online. But starting out, I felt like I wasn't going to need advertising. I mean, I have my contacts, I have friends, although I didn't have a lot of contacts at that time. I had friends, so once I take it to them, they will buy da 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 da. But the thing is, for the first, maybe at the beginning, your friends will support you, but it's not every time they will have money to want to buy clothes. So you need to spread the message, you need other persons to know, and that's where advertising comes in. All right, so advertising, it is very very important. Starting out, I didn't advertise, I was just posting, and my friends just bought. Those few times, 1 or 2 markets I went to, and they bought. So I noticed that I needed more contacts, I needed more customers. So that was when I understood the importance of advertising. So as at then, and even now, because even when you grow so big in the thrift market, you still need to be advertising, because you still need to have a wide reach. Like, you still need to extend your business so other persons can see it. I don't know if that makes any sense. So advertising is very very important. So you can run adverts on WhatsApp, you can also run adverts on Instagram. If you want to, if that's something you want me to make a video on, please just let me know in the comment section. I could make a video on how to run Instagram adverts. Okay, so the first time I run Instagram adverts, I got a bunch of followers and also some persons that made inquiries, and I was like, wow, so this is what I was missing out on, because I was just posting. Nobody's actually seeing what I'm doing, you get. So you have to run Instagram adverts. It's very important. It is very very important. Another thing which I am also guilty of, and which I am trying to improve on, is you have to carry your business on your head. Because you see, I mentioned that thrift business is very lucrative and all of that, but the truth is that the business is now oversaturated. There are just so many persons in the thrift market now, so you cannot just sit down and expect customers to just come and flood your Instagram page or whatever, because there are so many persons that are actually ready to do whatever it takes to make sure they bring customers to themselves. So you have to carry your market on your head. If you have to do reels, you do reels. I know I'm very guilty of this, but because of school, I'm a law student, and a lot, like, my course demands a lot from me, so I really don't have time to do reels and all of that things. But I know it's not an excuse, all right, but I'm just letting you know about this. I'm just putting it out here that you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You have to make reels. If you have to communicate with people, you see some persons in your niche, like people that sell thrift clothing as well, you look at their page, you see what they're doing. I'm not saying you should copy them, but if you look at what they're doing, you could also apply it to your own page, and hopefully you would grow. I was able to like discover all of these things in my experience as a thrift seller, as an upgrade seller. Okay, so yeah, that's just it. And then this will lead us right into our next point is patience. Guys, you really need to have patience in this business, because sometimes there will be ups and downs. Even the big thrift sellers you see, most of them have their own ups and downs. They've had it, and maybe they're still having it. Especially when you're starting out, there's definitely going to be ups and downs. I experienced ups and downs a lot. I almost gave up. I was just tired of, like, in fact, I don't want to do this business anymore, because I went in with the mentality that if I post, I will just be selling, cashing out, I'll be writing sold out everywhere. When I got into the business, it wasn't like that. Sometimes I have to post for weeks, even till now sef, I still have to post for weeks before I would be able to make sales. And I've been getting some encouragement even from the big thrift sellers. They always like, when they narrate their experiences, their stories, like, it has always been like that. I just feel like this is a process, and then if you just keep on, like, consistency, keep being consistent, one day you would also be a big thrift seller, and you wouldn't have to experience, I'm not even saying you won't have to experience all of these things, like they will go away 100%. You will still be there, but it's not going to be there like the way it was initially when you started out. So you need to have patience, and do not expect a lot. Be consistent. All right, next thing we're going to be talking about is packaging, or your page outlook. How do you intend to display your pictures if you have chosen to run an online store, if you have chosen to own a store, I guess you can also use that what's it called, the real stuff here. You can put hangers and people can walk in and test the clothes or however. But if you've chosen an online store, it's usually harder, because not exactly harder, because you have to choose between, do you want to use a mannequin for your product display, or do you want to use the flat lay, which is where props come in. Props, like you patronize the props brand, people that sell this background and all of that. So if you've decided to use a mannequin, it's fine. If you want to use the product, the flat lay, yeah, it's called flat lay photography, where you spread the clothes on a background and then you take pictures of it, that's also fine. So you should also put it into consideration. If you've chosen to do the flat lay, I advise that you invest in props. Because it is very important. It gives your page and the clothes and everything you're doing a very much more defined and, you know, good look. The next step or point on how to start a successful business in Nigeria is know your target market. I think I already mentioned this in the third point. It's all about know your target market, your interest, know the persons that you actually want to be selling to. Also, your location determines like the kind of persons you want to sell to, the people you're actually targeting. Another very important step is record keeping. I cannot overemphasize on this part. Record keeping is very important. For every purchase you make, for every sale, it's very important you have a record of it. Like, you put it in record, because starting out, I did not think about all of this. All I know is that I was just making sales, and whenever I sell, I'm happy. I'll be like, oh, today I made sales. There was no record whatsoever, so I didn't even know how I even spent most of the business money. Like, it was just a lot. It's just really funny talking about it now, but please guys, starting out business, please have a book or a jotter or whatever. Record every sales, every purchases you make, your profit, everything, loss, expenses, record all of them. Make sure you put it down, so when you're at loss or whatever, you will always know. Another very important step is, if you are a newbie to thrift business, I advise that you do not invest a lot of money in it, okay? In fact, I have a lot of story behind this particular tip. Okay guys, so if you are new to the thrift business, you don't know jack about thrifts, or you're just starting out but it's something you just want to do as a side hustle or just whatever, please do not invest a lot of money into it. Ask questions, okay? So you do not waste your money, or maybe you buy a lot of expensive things which you cannot actually sell off. So please, if you're starting out with your 10,000 naira, ask a lot of questions. Your 10,000, 20,000 naira, depending on what you want to sell. If you want to sell like nightwears, lingeries, tops, yeah, with 10,000 naira. If you want to stock dresses with 20,000 naira and above, but do not invest a lot of money. You have to study your customer, study your contact list, study the market, like study the business very well. Because I had a very, very bad experience of, I don't know if it was just how, in fact I really do not have any explanation for what just happened. Starting out, I ordered some clothes, you know, this wholesale deal they do online, like on Instagram, where you have thrift sellers, because you have thrift sellers that sell in wholesale. So I ordered online, I ordered a slot. So when the slots came in, it was totally rubbish. I'm sorry I had to use that word, but that's just like a perfect description of what I got. Like, the clothes were not good at all. They were not good, and the only reason I had to place that order was because of how frustrating it was going to the market. And then you're not even, because this thrift business, let me even tell you, if you're not strong, if you don't know how to drag clothes, maybe one day I'm going to do a like thrift shopping with me video, so you see how we actually shop for these thrift clothes in the market. So you see how hard it is. Like, starting out initially, I was always doing ajebo. Even till now I'm still like that, but things have changed. if you go to the market, you see some various several thrift vendors that have come to shop thrift clothes. And then if you are just doing pete doing ajebom, when it's time for dragging of clothes, everybody, like, I feel like they used to keep their own, I don't know, their mind at the back, like nobody's looking at your face. So you have to be very, very agile, very smart. And I was not like that then. I was very timid and I was easily intimidated. When I go to the market, I could not buy anything. Sometimes I go home empty handed. Sometimes I go home, end up buying things I don't even know. Sometimes I come back questioning myself, like, why did I even buy this clothes? Why did I even do like all of that? So I was just like, okay, let me just patronize one wholesale brand that sells strips, so that I felt like it would be easier for me. And then I went through their page and I was seeing a lot of, good things. Like, okay, so that means I won't have to go through the stress of going to the market dragging clothes. In fact, sometimes you even get injured. It's that serious too. It's that serious. So the clothes came to me and it was totally rubbish. And I ran at loss. I wasn't even able to sell most of them. Most of them I added it as freebies. I dashed it out. I wore some, the ones that were my size, and that was how that money went. Still today, I don't even do wholesale. I don't order from anybody. I go to the market and pick whatever I can pick, and then come back to the house and sell it. So that's just it. As if you're starting out, do not invest a lot in it. And then talking about buying bills, if you know you do not have any good knowledge of bills or like what to buy, maybe because you have the money you just want to buy, and then maybe when you buy it to turn out not good, advise that you actually do there's what they call signing of bill. You go to the market, like here in Port Harcourt we have the Oyemi market, we have the My One education market, also known as the umbrella market. Those are like the two major markets I know where you can shop thrift clothing. Okay, so if you go to any of them, you can meet the person selling the thrift clothes, depending on what the person is selling and depending on what you want to stock, and you can tell him or her that you want to sign the bill. Signing means that they open the bill just for you and you get to pick only what you like. So that one is more better and the risk is lesser. The risk now will not be on you, to actually be on the person selling the bill. So I feel like that's the best. But for that one, you need to have, depending on what you want to sign, if it's dress, you need to have like 100 to 150k in your account. Like, they need to know that you have that such amount of money. So if you want to sign a bill, depending on what bill it is or what you want to stock, you should have at least about 100,000 naira to 150,000 naira in your account. So maybe after you're done selecting, and then after the calculations and everything, it would get to 100,000, 120, depending on the things you selected. Okay, yeah, so that's just it. I feel like signing is safer than buying a full bill, especially when you're just starting out, when you don't even really have much customers, when you don't even know anything about thrifting. So yeah, that's a very, very important factor you should look out. Okay, so that's all on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please do leave it in the comment section. I am ready and always available to answer all of your questions. Okay, so if there's anything you would like me to talk about, or whatever video you would like me to speak on or to enlighten you guys on, please do well to also let me know in the comment section as well. And if you are still watching this video and you're not yet subscribed at this point, please hit on that subscribe button, like this video, drop a comment, share, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, bye guys.